Sit back down. That's enough of a sample, I think. So, what were some of the things that you noticed when you started playing this game?
I noticed that I embodied the sounds. That to be frustrated, I had to, what is it like to be frustrated?
Okay, so it was an internalization, right? Yep, really embodying it. Good. Okay, what else?
That it was difficult to express the sound without having motion.
Okay, movement helps.
What else? That it was fun.
Yeah, good. All right, great.
Yeah, I'd say that those are the primary things that I observed.
What happens so quickly when you first look at that piece of paper? What happens?
Oh, it's like an idea comes. There's an immediate, I know how to engage this.
Okay, and what does that activate then? What's really happening there? It happens so fast, we do it so automatically.
It's activating the nervous system, activating the brain.
Right, to do what?
To make sound.
Yes, but you have to, there's the visualization process. There is an imaginative process there.
I had to imagine it so that I could feel it, so that I could express it.
Exactly, and I bring that out and stress that because in our society today, we have gotten, and children especially, so used to having everything manufactured and done for us, watching that tube all the time, Facebook all the time, that we're so into the media that we don't use our imagination, our own facilities. We let somebody else do all of that for us. But in sound healing, that first thing that we have to do is see inside our head and then produce that sound. Another part of this was that you've got to do it
right away.
On the spot. Exactly. Now, how do you think that pertains to the actual sound healing that you're going to be doing in upcoming sessions and with clients?
I would say there's a spontaneity. You're going with the flow and with your intuition because you're not pausing to spend a lot of time to think about it.
Absolutely, because there is no time when you saw last week on the mat, when you're in that moment, you don't have time to strategize or plan out. You've got to go with what your intuition is telling you, what you're seeing in your head, and then I used a lot of hands-on, and at first I really ask my students to try not to do too much hands and more voice so that you get used to having to do that. So tell me a little bit now about the kinds of sounds. Think specifically of what kinds of sounds did we use? Can you recall any of the ones that actually came up for us when we started playing?
A number of them were sounds that were associated with emotions.
Right, because a lot of students get stuck on it has to be a person, place, or thing.
Yeah.
A noun, an object. Not true, it can be an emotion.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the emotion that came up today?
While we were doing this? As the general emotion was playfulness or joy or expression.
Right.
Creativity.
Yep. And what were the emotions that you were acting out?
Frustration.
There you go.
Hardness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And what else did you notice about the sounds themselves? Some were emotions, some were objects, but what about the sounds themselves? What kind of sounds did we make today? Can you recall them?
Well, there was like the huh. There was like I could feel it in a particular place in my body. Even frustration, like stamping my foot or like just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me help you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is not, it's like fishing for something. And I don't want to come right out and tell you, I'm kind of leading the witness, so to speak. But there is a likeness, a sameness about some of these sounds, and there is differences. So if you would describe some of these sounds as different, what would you, how would they be different? When you go ha, and then I went tinkle, 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 tinkle. What were some of the other ones? Help me out, remember?
We did, they all have a different vibration.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Um,
Getting there, getting there. All right.
Different
What is,
energy.
let me help a little bit more. When I go tinkle, 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 and what's the difference between those two sounds?
one is a really high pitch and one is a low pitch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, all right. Get there eventually. All right, so we had pitch involved, right? Tinkle, 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 and high and low. Okay, what else? About even keep using those two sounds. What else makes them different?
One feels superficial. That's not really the word, I don't think. What they're
Tinkle, 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 tinkle.
Different rhythms.
There, another aspect of this I wanted to bring out. So, what is the rhythm of tinkle, 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 tinkle,
Tinka 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 tinka.
yeah,
Like,
there's this almost staccato
yeah,
kind of effect, isn't there?
absolutely.
All right, and then what's the rhythm of the motor?
The motor. It's
more
circular.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So we got fast, we got slower,
Uh-huh.
and more elongated. All right. Again, there's another difference if you can keep going with this same analogy or same example.
Well, there's it's subtle in this case, but there's differences in volume.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. So the volume of tinkle, 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 and
Mhm.
what's the difference in volume?
The tinkles are lighter in volume,
Yeah,
and the roar is it's louder.
louder. Okay, all right. So I do this specifically because the sound game, the main objective is to develop vocabulary, but there's a lot of other stuff going on here. There's stuff about intuition and imagination and movement, and there's also those important ingredients to sound healing of volume, rhythm, pitch. Because what happens in the beginning for most students is that they like to stay in their comfort zone, don't we all? So they go ah, or ooh, or eh, or but they don't go beyond that. So it teaches vocabulary and gets you out of that comfort zone so that you're using a lot of different sounds and varying your voice. So you want to keep in mind that that instrument here can do all kinds of things. Rhythms and volumes and pitch, all of that takes place on the mat with the client. Okay? So, how do you actually use this with the client? What is this? How do you think that you would actually incorporate this into a healing session? Because, as I said in the textbook, you know, the hardest thing is to get people to open their mouths. They're intimidated.
Well, I can speak from our time together last week, in that you asked me about an animal, and I was able to draw from my own experience, you know, my relationship with my cat, and bring that. So I think it's about connecting an emotion. If a person's describing an emotion or an experience, is there something for them that defines it for them in a sound? Do they or in a, so that they can visualize that and hear it so that they can express that?
Right, right. I use it as an icebreaker. A lot of times I just simply say, this is going to be about sound healing, but let's just play the sound game and let me show you how that works, and that gets them relaxed.
So
it
you
gets
really
them.
bring the actual game.
Yes,
into
I
the-
do.
Okay.
I do. I use it as an icebreaker. Just say, hey, People aren't accustomed to sound healing. They don't know what it is, but this is just fun, and it'll help you relax. It'll help you gain some confidence. It'll help you start to open up your mouth and use your voice. I may not spell it out like that so clearly. We might just play the game and let them discover, just like you did here. It's much more fun in teaching through the discovery method than anything else, because then it really sinks in. All right. So I definitely use it as an icebreaker, and your assignment then is going to be to teach the sound game to someone. So when you leave here today, you'll actually introduce this and learn how to use it.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And then for your own practice, what I would like you to do is to daily draw your own sounds out of your box and practice doing them. Because when you're down there on the mat, I want to hear more than out of you. I want to hear an appropriate sound, and maybe is appropriate for some of the work that you're doing. But I'm more concerned at this point not about the end result, like whether the client actually transforms something or whatever. I'm more interested in how many sounds did you use, and did you get out of your comfort zone, and are you developing that vocabulary? All right?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions about your assignment?
No.
Okay, practice, practice, practice makes perfect, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Misha. Have fun.
Thanks, Sandra.
Okay.